What's good, y'all? Saberwolf24. I've got Rayeels for you guys today too. The second Rayeels game here, and let's see here. Who's gonna play first? I'm gonna flip the T Magma coin. Cool old coin. We get heads. What the fuck? Probably this probably hasn't happened in a long time. You guys can check all my videos and find out maybe how long it takes. But anyway, we get heads on the T Magma coin flip. Good. Unfortunately, I'm going to open up with Tabulele GX, a shit thing since now it's basically a useless wall there. I can't use its ability. It's going to be taking up space, and even worse, my opponent opens up with a fucking Pumpkaboo. Always when I see that, or I fucking see the little Joltik, I'm thinking, okay, this is 99% probably a fucking Night March deck. And that's one of the more difficult matchups because it's a deck that basically does the same shit in the idea that it wants to get one-hit knockouts to like 180 damage, and even more than that actually, with add-ons and shit and more guys in the discard pile. But it's a turbo deck. You know, you do all your shit, you play your battle compressors, have all this shit there, and then you start doing damage by turn even 2 maybe. Of course, it's more prone to item lock, and you know the guys don't have a lot of HP. So if you play, let's say, like a stage 1 deck that's also quick, and you don't give 2 prizes, then maybe you can actually fuck them up like that. They rely on DC a lot. But, you know, it's not an unbeatable matchup. I have beaten this deck before with Rayeels and other decks like Primal Kauger. This kind of set up more slow decks, focuses on energy accelerations, but it's a rough matchup. You know, it's not like one of your favorable matchups. I mean, I would say maybe even something like the Toad, Seismitoad with the item lock might be a better matchup than this, maybe. But if that deck runs super smooth as well, like if Jason Klaczynski's piloting a Seismitoad EX, I don't think Rayeels has a chance against that shit. But maybe if I'm playing somebody else, then maybe it's better. But maybe that matchup is even worse than this. But yeah. So my opponent is starting to do the other shit that I hate. This deck, you know, it's gonna take forever. They're gonna draw billions of cards, probably using Shaman, doing shit anyway. So my opponent has already started doing the puzzle shit. And you know, with expanded, as more and more cards are introduced, you know, this deck gets even more fucked up ways to be crazy, so that you even have like many ways to decide how your fucked up engine, what kind of fucked up engine you want for the deck to do shit. So my opponent doing some shit using Switch, and I'm guessing he didn't play a Shaman, so you know he did what he did. So as you guys have seen, I'm favoring, since Tablele is active, I'm gonna put energies and do damage, do use Tabulele GX to attack. It's one of my quicker attackers. Hopefully we can get some easy KOs and get a lead. That's very important going up against this deck. So the strategy kind of different. It's kind of different. I'm still aiming to get the eels down, but we're probably not gonna favor or even use Rayquaza EX. Maybe in the end, like to get the last prize or some shit. But my opponent didn't really do shit, or he did shit, but he didn't really make a super explosive turn maybe. But maybe his next turn is going to be bigger. You know, he's set up for next turn. Sometimes they do these things as well. The one benefit I have against this deck is I do have my Xurkitree GX, which he is immune to Pokemon that have DC on, since he's immune to Pokemon with special energies. So definitely we're Ultra Balling for this dude. Like as soon as I play this matchup, getting this guy. He also does good solid 100 damage, should finish the job. Mills a card from their deck too, so since this deck likes to draw billions of cards, maybe we can deck them out or some shit if they screw up. So it's kind of my best bet, my best Pokemon to use against this deck. And we're going to have to power it up, of course. And it's good that I get a knockout on the Joltik at least. It doesn't have an energy on, but get that out of the way. Remove it. Get a prize, get a lead. She's gonna have, he's gonna have, it's not a she, but This dude has the Pumpkaboo now, and he plays down the Marshadow GX. I suppose he would be running that, puts a DC on that dude, and plays down a Tauros GX. Okay, that's a first. But I suppose since you're running 4 DCs and go turbo, maybe you can use this Pokemon early, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have a Pokemon like this, but I guess he could help maybe against some other shit. I guess for something like uh, Seismitoad, since they do a lot of damage, but probably won't get a one-hit knockout. You put the DC in, and you can use the Mad Bull GX attack or something. So I guess it has its uses, but it's not a Pokemon I see every day against Night March. Okay, so my opponent gonna grab the Shaymin EX, so he's probably gonna finally start doing the fucked up Yu-Gi-Oh shit, playing a billions of cards, drawing a billions of cards, searching all day, setting up. Yeah, I refer to this as Yu-Gi-Oh shit because that's how Yu-Gi-Oh kind of got fucked up. And let's see. I mean, it got fucked up from other things primarily, actually, but I don't need to digress here. So Battle Compressor, my opponent's going to use that, setting up his dudes. He's probably going to be able to get a knockout on the Tapu Lele GX here. I don't think it'll be difficult. It only has 170 HP too. Let's see, man. All of the guys are there. 4 Joltics are there. 4 Lampents are there. So yeah. So we're gonna promote the electric here, and I am going to evolve my other eel, and we're definitely gonna put the float stone on the electric. Not much of a choice. Okay, so what am I gonna do here? It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, because the thing is, I want to use the circuitry, but I want to get a knockout with it, because the problem is this deck, of course, realizes that certain Pokemon and certain ability shits can play around their deck. So this deck, since it's so fast and so flexible, it usually runs the Hex Maniac and blocks our abilities. So if he plays that down at the right time, circuitry is useless and then it dies the same way. So I'm thinking, what do I want to do here? I don't really want to promote it against Marshadow because I can't get a one-hit knockout. But we don't really have much of a choice at the same time. If I don't do it and then he uses Lie Center or some shit, or maybe he couldn't have used the Hex Maniac and I didn't call his bluff, I should say, and he's like, oh, great, I'm glad you didn't use circuitry this turn, then, it kind of sucks. But what we're going to do is I'm going to use Raikou EX here, and I'm going to try get the Pumpkaboo out of the way at least, maybe, or I don't know, man, it's rough because then, shit, I don't know, like, what am I going to do? It's difficult. Guess get the Pumpkaboo out of the way, do something else. I'm not sure. If I could take a knockout on the Shaymin EX, I would have definitely do that. Or I would have definitely did that, maybe. But we can't use the weakness since it's benched. And I'm 10 short. So yeah, power creep. Too bad, Raikou. So I'm going to use Volt Bolt. The question is, yeah, just Pumpkaboo. It just seems like the only logical thing. Get an even prize. And hopefully, maybe I can just, set up my eels and get a one-hit knockout on the dude with Rayquaza. Actually, that wouldn't be too bad, maybe. He's going to put that shit on. Pain. But we can get rid of that with Field Blower and start the Megaphone. Or just attach the 4th energy. But I really just want to get a one-hit knockout thing. I don't want to damage it, not kill it, and then Circuitry dies or something. But maybe I'm just worrying too much, because if he doesn't have that card at all, Hex Maniac, it's basically an auto win for me, actually. I mean, maybe he can do some Lysander shit, some Guzma shit, who knows, who the fuck knows. But if he doesn't, it's an auto win, because he can't get over Xurkitree GX. If I put that active, he's going to have difficulty. And I really want to keep track of his discard pile, see how many VS Seekers are there, see if there's any Hex Maniacs, if there's any Lysanders, Guzmas, is this kind of thing. So I'm kind of hoping he fucks up or misplays or something, kind of giving him time too. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. He placed another tool on the Tauros GX. No problem with that. It's just going to make my Startling Megaphone play even sweeter. But yeah, very easy damage, 500 damage with the weakness on Raikou. So you guys realize he's doing 250 normal damage. So anything dies. I can't survive with anything. Fury Belt isn't doing shit, so yeah, it's gonna get one-hit knockouts. So we're gonna get rid of Rayquaza and the Ultra Ball and use the computer search here. And I'm going to be grabbing. I mean, I don't even know what to grab. Is like, I really don't know what to do. I just don't really want to promote that dude. So we're gonna get the VS Seeker. And at this point, I think I just really have to attack with Circuitry GX and hope for the best. I think what we're going to do, actually, what is a good move that I'm going to do, is I'm going to use VS Seeker and grab N. I think we do have N over there. And since he actually took a lot of prizes, I let him take a lot of prizes. I'm going to hopefully stun him, disrupt him like that, this way with N. Since he doesn't have a rank guru down, doesn't have shit like artillery, maybe I'll get lucky. I just want to make sure he doesn't have shit to work with, so that hopefully he doesn't see Hex Maniac or Guzmas or what have you, and Circuitry GX can start putting the work. Get him out of the way. He doesn't have energies down, and we're going to use the Field Blower here. Probably didn't have to use it, but let's just use it. Why not? Right. So let's see. Circuitry GX, it is time. You're going to start doing shit. Gonna put it down the Rayquaza. This Pokemon isn't very hot in this matchup, but who knows, maybe just doing solid 90 is gonna work out. Okay, let's see. I mean, I killed the smaller guy, so that's why he probably isn't really good at this point. So Rumbling Wires, I really don't have a choice here. We're gonna have to do that, and hopefully we discard some useful shit too. Discard a VS Seeker, that's amazing, that's great. It's one of the best things to discard with the effect, so I got really lucky here. He's gonna use the Acrobike, okay, and he discards the Switch. Okay, probably got some useful shit, but hopefully he didn't top deck some good shit. So he just plays a Mew EX and a Mew down. So no supporter. He puts the DC on the Mewtwo, but no supporter, no Shaman EX top deck. So that's great. So he can't damage the Circuitry GX. So I'm starting a good lock here. Hopefully we get a good lock going here. And I fuck his dudes up, discard some useful shit, get lucky with Rumbling Wires. Hopefully, man, because we don't really have much of a choice here. It's not like I can do much against this deck. It's just too much easy damage, fast damage. Alright, let's see. Rumbling Wires. We're going to use the Super Rod first too. Shuffle in some shit. Raikou's probably might be useful. A Rayquaza, I guess, and Tapu Lele too. Attackers probably don't need energies. So yeah, just all three Pokemon can do some shit that can be useful. So let's get the knockout here. Discard another VS Seeker with fucking Rumbling Wires. Excellent. I can't ask for anything better, man. I really can't. Yeah. Or maybe Hexmaniac, because if you top decks that, then it's all for nothing. But we're good, we're good. I wish I could get like a one-hit knockout on the Mew EX. We're 10 short though, but you know, we're doing some shit. And you know, Tauros GX is actually, that Pokemon is actually, could pose a problem for Circuitry GX. Hopefully I find a way to deal with it. I guess the Rayquaza GX, we shuffle that in. So I need to keep counting these DCs too. Hopefully he lost a few. He used the stretcher for the Tapu Lele. Man, that sucks. So I'm thinking Wonder Tag. Yeah, what are you gonna grab? He has the Tauros stuck too. So he grabs the Guzma. I guess he wants to get an easy prize with Mew. But I'm kind of starting to get hope that maybe he isn't running Hex Maniac at all. Maybe it's prized. Hopefully I'm lucky enough that even if he runs it, it's like in his prizes still. You know, he took a lot, but I guess he decides to kill the Rayquaza instead of the Eels. I'm honestly fine with that, to be honest. No problem. So get rid of that if you want to. Or maybe he's going to try and get that guy stuck. I mean, I know I have fire energies in the deck. We're going to try and get that. But I have the switch in hand too, so it doesn't matter. So he's going to do Sky Return. He decides to go with that, I guess. I mean, I suppose he doesn't have any of the other guys, of the Night March guys, to do the big attack anyway. So I don't know what the fuck he did that for, actually. I mean, he put that guy back and grabbed the DCE, I suppose, but I don't know. I mean, it's not like you did this with Shaman. But anyway, it's fine with me because we're going to use our Cynthia, and I'm going to move the Rayquaza out of the way and get a knockout with Circuitry GX here. I mean, if I get the Fire Energy, I probably won't even switch. And since we get the letter, I think that's what the fuck I'm going to do. We're going to keep the Rayquaza there, and I think I'm just going to use that instead. It's going to get a knockout. Alright, so Rayquaza AX, Shred, get the knockout, and I only need one prize left. So hopefully we get lucky. I mean, if he plays the Hex Maniac, gets a Marshadow and a DC, it's over for Circuitry. But I don't think he even has shit in hand. Like, he doesn't actually have a supporter. He doesn't have anything. So maybe this is our game. I mean, he puts the DC on the Tapu Lele GX. I guess he can get an easy KO on the Rayquaza here. So he's going to be down to 1 prizes. Use a special charge. Puts the DCs over there, or back in his deck. But I think it's game. I think it is game. He probably doesn't have Hex Maniac. So Energy Drive. Rayquaza is out. And I actually have the Lysander, so it's game either way. I'm just going to grab the Shaman here, finish things off. So lightning coverage for the win. We're going to grab the Shaman. It doesn't matter what the fuck he was going to do, even if he has the Hex Maniac, it's game for me. So win against Night March deck, pretty sweet, since this deck is a bitch. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys subscribe. Leave a like, share this with your friends. Say Roll94. What's up?